Hi, everyone. Time for Members Club, or should I say, welcome to the Members Club.
Welcome, welcome.
We are your
Esteemed hosts.
esteemed hosts, fearless leaders, Aaron Wexler and Charly Arnold.
You know, every week I get nervous about how to say your last name because everyone tells me I say it wrong.
I don't correct anybody at this point. I'm like, whatever you want to say. When I was in France, they were like, Miss Arnaud. And I was like, yes. How can I help you? I was like, that is a sweet last name. And then there's Arnault, when you pronounce it more like Arnault, because that's the
I
guy
think
that
that's how
owns
I
LV.
say it.
Well, no, that's fine. That's the guy that owns LVMH. So also
Ah.
would love to be a part of that bloodline. And then mine
Mm.
is more just like Arnold. It's like more boring.
It's the indie version. We don't talk about that Charlie's from Indy.
No, we talk about it. It just honestly, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, there are reasons for people to live in all the different parts of the country. There are good and bad with every single place.
Yes.
But definitely the Midwest was not for me. I was always moving so fast like I am now. I felt like 2 steps ahead of everybody else. I mean, in my own world at least. And I just was always like, why are people moving so slow here? What is going on?
You are a New York girl at heart. That's so true. No, but I think I just not mispronounce. I accentuate certain syllables differently in certain words. Apparently, like in my household growing up, like we all just say, I just say anchovy. And apparently that's wrong.
Anchovy. What do you say?
Right. Like people say anchovy, but I say anchovy.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, how do you say, okay, what's the thing that you have to buy that protects you health-wise, property-wise,
A gun.
rental-wise? No, that, but also the thing that you have to pay for. There's a premium each month.
Insurance.
Insurance.
Right. Because you're going to say, some people say insurance, right?
Yes. I wanted to see how you said it. What do you say?
Right. But you know what's funny is if you said insurance to me, I would still say insurance.
Oh, so I say it weird. Insurance. And no, wait. Hold on. What? Now I'm confused how I say it. You know, when you hear it one way?
Yeah.
Insurance.
100%. This is actually a linguistics lesson. Oh, can I tell a funny story about linguistics while we're here? That's actually historical. Has to do with World War II. I did a video on this a few months ago just for fun,
Okay.
even though none of you cared about it. But there's during World War II, like it's obviously very different than the technology we have today. They had to figure out, especially over radio, who was an ally and who wasn't. And so they did 2 different things depending on the theater. So in Europe, they would ask, because, Inglourious Bastards is obviously, I actually thought it was a true story until the very end when they killed Hitler. And I was like, wait,
I never even saw it. So
well, they kill Hitler at the end. And I was like, wait, this never happened.
you're like, this isn't real.
So, this is not real. It's just Jew porn. But it's based off of the idea that this really did happen, where on both sides, people would get uniforms. So like you could be an American wearing a German uniform to infiltrate their lines. So to make sure that someone, even if you showed up in an American vehicle, an American uniform, they would ask you baseball questions, because every blue-blooded American guy in World War II could know. You could say, like, who was pitching in the final inning.
And if they didn't know, then it meant that they were behind enemy lines.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not linguistic. But then in the Asia Pacific theater, you have things like at night you couldn't see over the radio. Like it was harder to tell, because obviously you could see if someone's Asian or not, but you couldn't always tell when you were communicating with someone. You couldn't see them, and so they used code words to get onto the bases, the American bases, and they would use words with the letter L, because the Japanese linguistically can't say L. They can't say it. Like they don't distinguish between the R and the L. And I learned this because I had to hero. But I had to take linguistics 101 as like a requirement to graduate from college. It was so dumb. And the only thing I remember from this class is this story. But that's why they had the code words like Lollapalooza and Lorelei were 2 popular code words, because they would say Raraparuza and Rorarai. Your racism is actually a World War II history fact.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm very, very, I love World War II history. It's like my favorite era of history to study. Not that I'm like studying history, but I love to read books, and I love to read books that are set in the World War II era. So that's so interesting. I love knowing that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so I actually have a spy story. Well,
Oh.
it's possibly not a spy story. So this past weekend, I was invited onto a boat. We went out to the Long Island Bay. So it was a
The
beautiful
exotic
day on
land.
Saturday. It was, listen, wherever I can get on a boat around these parts, sign me up. I don't care. And I literally don't care.
Around these parts. Charlie lives in like Flatiron, Manhattan.
I live like in one of the most
It's
beautiful,
like one
like
of the nicest
luxurious.
areas. In these
Point
parts.
is, point is, when I was able to get on a boat, I was
Yeah.
extremely, extremely happy. Now, I got on this boat. There were 4 Russian speakers on this boat, which, like,
Suspicious.
just the proportion of Russian speakers. I'm not on this particular boat. I was the only native English speaking woman on the boat.
Well,
Now,
Charlie, it's not to shit on you because you were on this boat, but that does sound like the kind of woman who would just be on a boat in the port of Long Island.
in the port of Long
fuck you
Island.
were.
So now, listen, there was one girl on the boat that I absolutely loved. She was fantastic. She was so interesting. She was
Russian.
So she moved here forever ago, but she didn't
Mhm.
look Russian. She actually, and I came to find out she had part Finnish in her. So she had red hair, very light eyes, light skin, like did not look Russian, at least stereotypically. So there was one thing that already was like, oh, then I started speaking with her more, and her vocabulary was insane. Like, better than mine, again, as a native English speaker. Like, she was using words that I was like, I should go look that up after this conversation. So I was like, whoa, she's really smart.
Right.
And then on top of that, I asked her about her line of work, and she didn't exactly tell me what it was. So I was like, oh, we'll come back to
Oh
it, but
my
we never
God,
got
she
back
is
to
a
it.
spy.
Wait. And then I was like, let's exchange Instagrams. And she's like, well, I don't really use Instagram. So we get on her Instagram, but we're still exchanging.
A
She
girl
has an
on a boat doesn't have an Instagram.
she has Instagram, but has never posted, 0 posts. And I'm like, this woman is a spy. I'm like, she's a spy. I think she's
That's
a
a spy.
spy.
Although
Wait,
wouldn't a
but
spy have an Instagram kind of, you know?
no, she has
I
one.
don't know.
She just doesn't
Right, but
post
there are no
anything.
posts. It is very
But
this is suspicious behavior.
and wait, hold on. It doesn't stop there. She also speaks 3 languages.
Okay, I will say that's very common outside of the US.
Just let me have this
Okay.
moment, please. I'm building a case here, okay?
I want your case to be bulletproof. I'm doing this to help you.
Well, I am going to see her later. We're playing padel, Arynne, together.
Aw. I feel like you're cheating on me. That's how
Well,
Charlie and I like began our romance.
it was one of our first outings. Okay, so anyways, point is I think I have been friends with a spy, which I'm
honestly
loving.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. We're already accused of being spies. You may as well be friends with one.
Yeah. I
See
mean,
what happens.
I want to spy from every corner of the globe.
Here, you want them from both sides of every conflict, actually. But
Yeah.
you want to be careful because you don't want to learn too much. Then you're a liability to them.
Accomplice.
Oh, I was going to say, forget the accomplice part. You don't want them to think, you don't want her telling her handler, Charlie knows a lot.
Charlie knows too much. Charlie needs to be taken care of.
Yeah. Not taken care of in the fun way. Like, no.
No.
I mean, I interacted with spies for sure when I was in, like, accidentally. The way I just started that sentence was so out of control. all the haters who have done weird videos about me that are all over YouTube, they're going to take that clip and be like, see, she admits it. She's a spy.
Told you.
We told you, Wexler, the 3 parentheses around my name. No, but I was in Mexico City almost 2 years ago now. And a good friend of mine from high school, he lives there, and he told me, actually, it's funny. He took Russian in high school and college, and he studied abroad in Russia. And he's living in Mexico City. And I was visiting him for the second time, and he had told me about funny interactions he'd had in Mexico City. And like, Mexico City is known for being a hub for spies, especially Russian spies. And he's actually had, and I don't have like permission to tell the story, so I'm not going to give the details, but like, he's had a number of interactions that would indicate like people were like, especially because he took Russian, like that they were feeling him out to see if he would, and he's American, very proud American citizen. Like, he's one of the men who actually registered for the draft when he turned 18. Like, most guys don't actually do that, but he actually like so I mean, he didn't serve in the military, but like he loves America, registered for the
Yeah.
draft. He's living in Mexico City. And like, because he speaks Russian and spent time there, they were like the same guy like ran into him randomly in different places where like it's not random, it's not an accident. And I went out one night with a bunch of actually American friends from like who were very successful in business and tech, and they were in for a bachelor party, and I went out with this group of guys, and all of a sudden at the club these two very like pretty but not too pretty, like normal pretty women go up to the guy. Also, men, you're the ones that have to go up to women, okay? Women don't usually just beeline for men, especially in a club, right? These girls beeline for the men, start flirting with them, and one of my guy friends says to me, he's like, I don't trust those girls. Like that there's something weird. And like
Unless they're prostitutes.
no, but they weren't. It's like they weren't prostitutes seeking business. They were like just flirt. Like you could just tell there was like a
Okay.
different kind of energy. And then a bunch of us went to. It was like 3 a.m. and we went, or like 2 a.m. We went to McDonald's after to like eat something. And we're in McDonald's, and I go to the bathroom, and I come back, and these two girls are mysteriously there talking to my friend at the table and a bunch of other guys. And I show up, and we're trying to ask exactly to your point. We're asking them like, where do you live? Where are you from? What do you do for work? And it's all so vague. And they say they're from Guadalajara, which just makes me think of Ugly Betty. Do you remember that show? And she's
Yes.
like, so I just think of that. And they don't look like Guadalajarans. They just don't. And their English is excellent. And there was just something like, and none of us were like had our guard up. And when I came back, I'd left my purse with my friends, and one of them had my purse like in his lap because he said he felt like there was something weird about these girls. And he said they were like kind of moving towards my purse, but not in a way to steal it.
Were
Like,
they criminals?
I felt like they were trying
what?
to bug me.
So I'm sorry.
I feel like they were spies. I feel like they were spies trying to end up back with one of these guys at their hotel because they are connected in the US. A lot of them work for like names of people that anyone listening to this would recognize.
Okay.
And I felt like they were trying to bug a phone or get information. Like it felt like they were, like it was weird. And everyone could tell, like, like when you have your gut feeling is not emotional. It's like your brain processing so many data inputs, and you can't even understand what you're processing, that like you get that gut instinct and that intuition, but it's from data inputs. And everyone felt like something's wrong here.
I like that. Data inputs.
Yeah. No, women are not emotional.
I have very strong instincts, and my instincts are usually always right. Like, I have done some shit in the past because of my instincts that I'm like, I should do this or I should suspect this. And it's like kind of like one of those things that like it's going out on quite a limb at some juncture, but I've been right.
And
I'm
like when we first met and we spent, for the people, at some point we'll tell more. I mean, we've told the origin story a little bit, but like I love it because it's your instinct and intuition about me. But we met, and then Charlie and I spent like 3 days hanging out in New York City. It sounds like
including at the Padel courts.
Yeah,
where
except I couldn't play.
You couldn't play because she just got her eyebrows microbladed.
I got my yeah. But by the way, I also just did it last week, so I also.
But also, remember, it was
later.
such a ridiculously hot day when you came to watch me. So
I was sweating.
You were just sweating, sitting there. Oh my gosh! But you were like my mom, like you were watching.
I was
me
like
through
your
the glass,
pageant mom. I was like, that was so great.
This is my first time playing padel, and I love people are going to be like, padel, what is that? It is padel.
Can you explain it to people?
Well, it's either paddle or padel.
Oh, it was invented in Mexico City. That's why it's called padel.
Right, and they would say it. That's how you would pronounce it in a Spanish-speaking territory. So, it's padel.
In a territory.
I like to be correct with my pronunciations, except
insurance.
No, except when it comes to like saying Ibiza. Like, I don't know, I still feel weird having like the.
No, it's too obnoxious.
It just feels weird. Like, if I'm not going to lisp on everything, why am I going to lisp on one thing like Ibiza? I don't know. It just feels strange to me, but I do it sometimes. Sometimes I'll slip it in just to see how it makes me feel, and I always feel stupid. But but then I feel, but then I also feel stupid saying Ibiza, knowing that it's not the right way to say it.
when LaCroix came out, I kept calling it LaCroix because that's like
It
what it
is.
would be. Isn't it LaCroix?
It
But
is
people say
LaCroix.
LaCroix. But
Oh,
people say
right, but it's not
LaCroix.
LaCroix, it's LaCroix.
Yeah, but people
It is.
say
Yeah,
LaCroix.
right.
Like
Yeah.
if you're in a social setting and you say, "Can I have LaCroix?" People will think you're like you had a seizure or something.
And then there's the brand Jacquemus. You've seen that, right?
No, what is it?
Well, it looks like Jaquimus or Jaquimus. That's what it looks like, but it's actually Jacquemus.
Jaquimus sounds like it could fit with my first name.
I just found out it was Jacquemus like not that long ago, and I was like, "Oh." I mean, not that I had said it all that often, but still I was pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. I do want to talk about Padel for 1 second, which is and it's getting into the ether now where Andrew Schultz I saw he did a charity with Padel. I think it was for IVF. A lot of people are getting more and more into it, but it like in Florida and Miami, it's like the tech bro. It's funny, a bunch of the guys I was in Mexico City with that time with these like fucking
With
Russian
the spies.
spies, with these Russian spies. We all play Padel, and like a lot of times I'll be at a Padel court and see them at their court. But it's like squash meets tennis, and it's very strategic. I do not mess around with pickleball because if your grandma can do it, then that's not exercise. Like I just don't. I can't agree with pickle.
I've never played squash.
Squash is just like, but you know it from the movies, right? Because it's like that's where all the business chat happens in
Is
movies
squash have
with the
walls?
glass. It has walls and glass, and you're bouncing the
Mm.
ball off the walls. And so in Padel,
Oh,
you're bouncing the ball off of glass parts, but then there's
but
also
it's
a
also
fence.
you can also
So you
right, a net.
yeah, and it's played in doubles, and you could be very strategic about the way it's just I find it more strategic than tennis, and I think it's I don't know, it's just like I think the pace is a lot more fun, and
I mean, I
it's a
love
different
tennis. It's just hard to play here. It's impossible to
yeah.
play in the city to find a court.
But it could also be slower, and I don't know, Padel is just like it's an action-packed hour. I don't know, it's like a lot more interactive. I don't know. So this is my endorsement for Padel. There we go.
It's an
Charlie,
action-packed hour.
I need you to explain the top headline of this week, by the way, because it's your friend.
Oh, it just happened today. And I wouldn't say friend, a boss. It's my boss.
My friend, your
Above
boss.
all, my mentor though is one definitely way to put it. The UFC, and we're talking about Dana White, obviously. The UFC is not my mentor. The UFC is my employer. Everyone probably saw the news. They just signed a blockbuster deal with Paramount and CBS, $7.7 billion to give them the rights to UFC starting in 2026. The interesting part about it is that UFC forever has been using the pay-per-view model. So while they air their fight nights on ESPN and ESPN Plus, who have been their broadcast partner for several years, even prior to that, it was Fox. They have their pay-per-view events, which are the numbered events. This upcoming weekend is UFC 319. Those actually, the pay-per-view model's going away. So people don't have to pay for pay-per-views like they once did, which can be rather expensive. I've always gotten them through ESPN still, but yeah, those are going away. So it's like the end of an era and the
Wow.
burgeoning of a new dawn for the UFC and also for streaming platforms. I mean, this is a really big deal, and $7.7 billion. Like, I didn't realize Paramount was working with that kind of money, but I guess
I
they
appreciate that
are.
because I saw the headline and I was like, I know this is a big deal, but I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah, no, it's huge. Well, they've been looking for a new broadcast partner for a while now because they weren't able to get any negotiations um past, where they needed to with ESPN, who's their current partner. So they were like in WWE, who TKO Group is the overarching parent company of both UFC and WWE. WWE recently went to Netflix. So there was a lot of rumors swirling that UFC also would potentially go to Netflix, but I'm not privy to all the details, but obviously that didn't shake out. And I hadn't even heard Paramount and CBS as an option. So this was kept very well under wraps. And the news just broke today and everybody's talking about it and it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess that means one more platform, though, that everyone needs to subscribe to. I don't know if everyone has Paramount at this point, but it's one of those things like we've gotten rid of cable because it was too expensive, but now you have to have access to all of the streaming platforms if you want access to different shows, live sports, etc. So it's still very expensive to watch the things you want to watch because they're all in separate entities.
I feel like I have subscription fatigue. Everything I have
Yeah.
is a subscription. Every
Everything.
app, every show. And it's so funny because I have, it's not to use the term PTSD in the most inappropriate manner because it's a very serious thing, but I have PTSD from watching Yellowstone and the shoot and like the runoff shows from it. Because did you ever see Yellowstone?
I didn't watch.
Oh, it's such a good show. And then like
I
most
heard that.
shows, it starts off really strong and then gets absolutely wackadoodle. Like the plot gets so unhinged and off the rails. The first like 3 seasons are really good. One of the most beautiful shows I've ever watched is the runoff series 1883. But then they also had 1923. These are all these numbers.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it is really good. There's so many numbers here. I watched the finale of 1883 and I just gotten a face laser and you're not supposed to get it. It's your face feels very hot. And I was sitting there with tears like streaming down my
You're
face.
just like, ah.
And I was like, oh God. And like, it's like, I could like, it's a kind of minor laser where the recovery is really light. And like for basically that night, it looks like you got kind of too much sun. So it wasn't anything extreme. And I haven't been able to do the laser in like over a year because I just have no downtime these days that I haven't had the time where I wanted to have my face be super red for a day. I need to do it though at some point. But anyways, I'm like crying hysterically. So 1883 was great. But the annoying thing about Yellowstone and all these runoff shows is I felt like every season was on a different streaming platform. And so I don't want to sign up for something I never watched. Like I don't need another, I'm sorry, but like I'll support Dana and do Paramount. But up until now, I don't need Paramount. I don't want to be streaming on it. I don't watch any shows that are on it. And they would have like season 4 on Paramount. And so I would sign up for like the 10-day trial and just binge the show, binge the season to just get through it and then like cancel the annual subscription. I feel like a lot of people are tired. I think we're going to end up going back to the cable. I just want ads. I'd rather sit through ads.
We're not going to go back because the way people are making shows, the way people are producing, it's over. Cable's done.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I think we could go back. Also now, this bullshit, like you're on Hulu and they give you pay for Hulu and you still have ads and then you need the premium subscription to not have ads on top of paying.
On Netflix, they have like if you want it in 4K or like better resolution.
Oh, they suckered me into that. I'm like, it looks the same. By the way, you're on my Netflix. Do you use my Netflix login?
No, I'm using someone else's Netflix right now, but I might be removing mine from there soon because, life.
Well, my family Netflix that I pay for, Charlie, you have an avatar. So
thank God, because you know what though? Netflix is now doing this thing where
if you're signed into too many places, right?
Well, and it tracks you because it uses your IP address, and if you haven't logged in recently to the same internet as the rest of the household members on that account, it knows now. Like that's its newest way of finding out who is actually out of the network. Can they just leave us alone? Like honestly, please just leave us alone. Let us have this. Let us share our Netflix accounts and just go away.
I hate it here. Can we talk about wedding season?
Yes, please. We're in the midst of it, in the thick of it.
My brother can't travel in August. He's stuck in New York for most of it because he has a wedding. I think this is so rude. He has a wedding every weekend of August, so he can't go anywhere. Who does that?
Well, I don't think they were planning with each other. It's not like his friends were like, oh.
I think it's a giant conspiracy. Let me pretend I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene and everything is a conspiracy.
I just don't like when people put their weddings on holiday weekends. I think that's rude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. I get that there's some extra time off around those certain weekends potentially. But with that being said, a lot of people have traditions. They want to spend it with their family. They want to do the things that they typically do. I mean, like a lot of times that's when people plot their vacation time around holidays.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to be stuck.
Can we just say that Charlie wasn't thinking when she said that? Instead of saying planning or scheduling, she said plot your vacation.
No, I was. I was.
We're always plot.
I was.
Oh, you were thinking.
We plot. Yeah, you plot your vacation.
We're plotting.
You plot
it. Like scheming. We're plotting.
You plot it.
We're plotting an adventure. Okay.
Yeah, but people like to do their thing, and then now they're like, no, I have to go to your wedding when I would normally use this for my own leisure time and something completely different than your wedding, most likely. I don't know. I'm just not into it. I would never do like a New Year's Eve wedding or like a 4th of July wedding. I just, no, I
I
don't rub me the wrong
personally
way.
have a tradition. My tradition is around like MLK weekend because that is the anniversary of when I went to the Scientology Center in New York City to see how far I could get. I've never told you this story.
Oh, well, let's
I
save it
mean,
for a different day, right? If
we'll
we're gonna
save
do
it for a
weddings,
different
like,
day. But
okay,
but
because
that is
tune in,
but
guys,
that's my
tune into
anniversary.
a later episode because we are gonna uncover how
No,
far
the
Arynne got
episode
in
that
the
we
Church of Scientology.
will get sued by they're the most litigious group of people in the world. So we'll prepare. We'll do it
Oh my God, I
when
can't
we have some
wait.
ad revenue.
Yeah, we can fight back.
I want to talk about two things. The first is, did you see the drama at the end of last week around the influencer Sarah Stock, who I'd never heard of her until this drama. But she's apparently like the female Nick Fuentes, allegedly, in case she sees this. And she posted, so I didn't have that background either. She posted a photo with her engagement ring, and then Emily Saves America replied. Did you see this whole drama that went down?
I did. I did
I
see
feel
it.
like it was all the internet talked about last week.
It was a big subject of conversation, well, among, I would say, a certain group of people. It wasn't like my friends in New York City were talking about it, but
Yeah.
yes.
I feel like it was entertainment for the influencers. Like influencers were watching it.
I mean, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I agree with it.
I agree. I said this to Emily. I said,
Yeah.
it doesn't, it doesn't matter if you guys have historical beef. It doesn't matter if she is like a female Nick Fun. It doesn't matter. And any of those things, it doesn't matter because it's not about how you're making her feel, which is one thing. It's about how you make all these other women feel when they see your commenting on the ring size. And it's mean. And it's okay to not have money. And I think there's something nice about loving your ring, no matter what it looks like.
There are some people that get married without rings.
But some of the wealthiest people I know actually have the simplest rings. They have like a gold band, and that's what they're wearing.
They have a yacht and no ring, okay? Like there are, but I mean, I joke about that. I mean, obviously the whole point of this is there are people that just don't have the means to buy a ring or, that's not their priority. They've got families that they would rather dedicate their resources to. They've got, different life setups, whatever it is. Yeah, I just think that to judge somebody else's ring, I mean, if you have your own standards for your own ring, well, hopefully your boyfriend knows about them and he can, plan accordingly. But there's a lot of other people who aren't in the same situation, and to judge them on the ring is just very, very shallow.
Yeah, I agree. I also think, glass houses, it's kind of, I think it's ill-advised to comment on someone when you don't have a ring on your finger.
Yeah.
I said that too. Like, none of this is like, I said this to Emily. I'm like, you could be right and still lose. I don't think this is right. I don't think like the intuition and like the instinct to make fun of the ring size. I'm like, you could, like, if you wanted to be nasty to this girl, you could have pointed out that what she has gone after other people and attacked them on, or like you could try to argue, you could, and say that, she's flaunting this engagement for whatever purposes, like there's so many things that, and by the way, I don't even agree with that, but I think even those are stronger arguments than I don't like making fun of someone's ring size. I don't think it's right.
I just can't even imagine. I cannot ever imagine ever. Listen, sometimes, and I think, the greater issue is this particular incident is one thing. People are so quick to judge people and express their opinion where it is not needed or wanted, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like this age of internet is just like, I did not ask you and I could give a shit what you think. And the fact that people feel comfortable, that's the bigger thing. That people feel comfortable judging other people publicly and saying very mean-spirited things publicly. I would never. First of all, I don't even like being mean to people one-on-one. Like, that's just not my MO. I am not a mean-spirited person. It makes me feel very uncomfortable to make someone else feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But to do it in a public forum where now other people are able to jump on board and agree with me, and then now this person is under attack, I cannot fathom being an internet troll. Like, I cannot ever imagine being in that situation. So when people do it and are so comfortable being a troll and being mean-spirited, I'm just like, who raised you? Why do you think this is okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think when someone's posting about being engaged or having a kid, none of the background noise, like nothing else matters. It's either a time to congratulate them or if they're a terrible person, you just say nothing. Like, you just say nothing. Like I just
Say nothing.
just say nothing.
You go about your life. You manifest that ring that you want to be eventually put on your finger. God willing, it will be. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But other than that, like let other people live their lives.
Honestly, when I see a small ring like that, it's like I'm like, good for them. It's like it's not an apples to apples comparison. Zora over there. I don't even know where Theo is. Theo's so quiet.
Cute. Just look at
Theo's
Zora
so
back
quiet.
there. You are so sweet, my little peep. I love you.
And that's why if you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, you should be watching us also because my lighting is so phenomenal
lighting is
today.
divine.
My lighting is so good.
It is
and
good.
my back, I'm like loving. I got really watch. Everyone in the space is going to start copying my background because everyone does blue with like a neon sign, and I have this brown background. And I am calling it right now. We will clip this in 6 months when people start copying my background.
Well, I'll just be over here in my neutral aesthetic apartment that in my athleisure. My neutral colored athleisure.
For anybody who missed it, I shit on everybody who has a neutral colored apartment.
Literally, as I was sitting here. Then she also shit on people that wear athleisure, and I still am. And in fact, now I'm wearing neutral colored athleisure. So
I'm I'm in a sweatshirt, but can I just say I bought this in the Hamptons, so it's fancy. So it doesn't count.
I want everyone to know that when we started plotting this podcast, Arynne was very, very, very strict on the idea, insistent that we would be dressing up for each episode. That it would be clothing that would like really relay like an elevated lifestyle, very chic, sophisticated, like you would walk into a members club wearing.
Hey,
and
it still might happen.
I just want to make it very clear that from day one up until this very point, we both have showed up in athleisure every single time. And like, no, we will never dress the way that you imagined we would. I'm laying
in person
down the law. If we have a live episode, maybe.
For sure. Like we'll do live episodes and we will be dressed properly for it. And we're not going to do that thing where women just like, there's like the need for women to sit barefoot cross-legged. First of all, you never give away the feet for free. You never give the feet away for free. People should know this. When Charly and I, we shot just a regular reel a couple months ago. And and Charly, we did an entire take and realized her feet were showing. And so we redid it and put a blanket on her feet because you never give the feet away for free.
That costs extra. All right. Please log on to charliesfeet.com. And for a small fee, you can have a glimpse of my little piggies. I actually have a great, I don't have a OnlyFans for feet, by the way, everyone. Sorry. Although there is like a wikifeet.com, something like that. And I am highly featured on it just from like my TV appearances, which is hilarious.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Do I look this up later? I'm scared.
I mean, listen, there are people killing it. I mean, okay, so here's my thing. Here's my question. I would never do an OnlyFans, like in its traditional
I feel like there's a
form.
butt coming here.
No. I honestly, I don't think I'd ever do anything. I'm just getting your opinion. I'd like you to weigh in, just for hypothetical reasons. Like times get tough enough. What if I told you, and obviously, like you're gonna let me live my life, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna start an OnlyFans for feet. Like I'm just gonna do foot content. I'm gonna put whipped cream on my toes and just like spell out men's names and like marker on my socks and then like whatever. Like this is like the stuff people do.
Right.
Would you judge me? And then let's say I started it and I told you I was making like $50K a month. And I was doing solely feet. What would you do?
That's such a good question.
You're like, I would join you.
I'd be like, who fucking cares?
Honestly,
like,
yeah, it's great, whatever.
Like, who cares? It's your feet.
I mean, obviously, there's a stigma attached to it. You're still a weirdo. I mean, people
you're
would
a weirdo, but honestly,
be like, oh, there's the girl that does the foot content.
I know. I was gonna say, how do I say this without it being insulting to you? It's like, I don't think you would. I don't think it would like affect. Like, you wouldn't think about it. You'd be like, oh, like you'd be very matter of fact about it. You'd be like, oh, I just have to like go and drizzle honey on my toes.
I have to like, yeah, like dip my toes in peanut butter and jelly.
Because, it's not like, people do like, we'll
Now, here's the thing.
We'll judge someone for that, but we won't judge someone for just like talking about Jesus and wearing like the sluttiest outfit you've ever seen and like the tits are pushed up. And it's like, how is that like all that
Well, I think
different?
the whole purpose is I'm doing foot content and what I'm doing isn't so bad, but the people that are receiving the foot content, what they're doing with the feet pictures and videos,
no, it's messed
is
up.
like
No, it's gross.
Is disgusting. So like I am like a part of. I mean, I am.
No, you're part of the problem, which is like the degeneracy of society. Yeah. But one could argue someone else would do it in your place if not you. But that's also the argument.
So you're telling me I should.
All kinds of bad things. I am not saying that. I feel like I'm being set up.
Let's circle back to proposals, and end on a very positive note. Okay, we did the negative. We did the negative proposal, right? We are not going to judge rings. We are not going to ring shame everybody.
No.
To each their own.
No. Yeah.
But when it comes to proposals, like, I'm sorry, there are certainly judgments that can be passed on proposals because there are some epic fails when it comes to proposals. Like, this is something that thought should go into, right? Like, I know sometimes they can just like happen spur of the moment, be spontaneous, and I'm all about spontaneity, but some turn out to be major flops. And I think we both have an example of proposals that need to be judged. So let's do mine first.
Let's do yours first. Wait, I want to watch it for a second because I forget it. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God. It's
Jamie, no. Oh my God.
He fell so far.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, spontaneity, great, but you also should probably take into account that there is a rushing waterfall, rapidly moving water, and like, you're going to get swept away. And I also just like, where's the ring? Is the ring lost forever now in the sea?
The ring has to be lost.
It's gone.
It has to be lost.
I want to find out where this is and go on a little scuba diving trip. I mean, where's the ring? It's like the heart of the ocean. Basically the same.
He fell so far. Like, just when I thought he was going to stop falling, there was an even bigger fall that he fell into. He fell so many falls. I wasn't even trying.
So, and I love that it was caught on camera. I mean, that's perfect, right?
Well, it's because proposals are always on camera now.
Sometimes, except when you have people step into the view. Did you see that one recently? It was
Yes, I did.
Where they had like this really cute setup and like they had the camera set up and these aloof tourists, not knowing that they were interrupting a proposal, they step right in front of the frame. You don't see any of the proposal taking place. You just see these people like looking at their maps and like looking around.
Like mouth breathing into the camera right in front of it.
So funny.
But I want to say on this guy falling into the waterfall, like this is why women live longer. Look at this guy. Just like not thinking about this, not having his footing. You just know how slippery it was. Like we all have walked over streams and it's like, that was so treacherous. Like it turned from something that was meant to be like delicate and romantic to just like so dramatic. Mine is different because it's a trauma and a fail in a different way. It is a woman proposing to what I would loosely call a man. Okay, this is like I'm just like I'm sorry. Call me traditional. I do not think the woman should be proposing. Like, did she buy the ring? What is happening here?
I can never fathom proposing to a man. Like, that is not something I would ever even consider doing. Like, I don't care how desperate I am. I will be alone for the rest of my life if it means I have to propose to the guy. Not to mention, any man that is okay with being proposed to absolutely will not be my husband. You are the last type of man I want to be married to. That's like a beta guy, right? Like,
it's a total beta.
Low T soy beta.
Low T soy beta. This is what I based it off of.
If you're okay with the woman proposing to you, no. If you are okay with the woman not taking your last name, also massive beta. And finally, and this might be the worst yet, if you take your wife's last name, you are like the biggest loser.
Straight to jail.
So all three things combined, I mean, I just can't even, you don't deserve to be mentioned.
This is fidget behavior, first of all. We just have to say that. I'm going to say I said it in a funny way so I don't get dinged by the algo in any way. But it's so bad. Like, also, his hair is long. It's like we've just androgenized to a point where, like, women look like men and men look like women. Like, all these women look like Harry Potter with a pixie cut, you know? And all the men look like, I don't know, like Twinkie women and like a funny little mix. Something is seriously wrong here. I would rather kill myself than propose to, and I would never do that. What she tell? I would never do that because I would never give my haters the satisfaction. So, like, this is, it's just like, it's so cringe. Yeah, like you said, I'd rather. Also, what does it say about your relationship if you're the one that has to propose to the guy?
Well, precisely.
It's like the women that have to issue an ultimatum for the proposal. It's like, okay, then if you have to do that, you just should not be with this man.
And Arynne, that is why at this point, you and I are both single gals because we are waiting for that alpha man, or men, I guess, because we're not going to be sister wives, the alpha men to come sweep us off our feet. Although, you know, if push comes to shove, I would rather us share one alpha man than both of us end up with beta men. So whatever.
I feel like we could like have a schedule and
or we could share a beta man and then we could just hang out all the time. We'll be like, go away.
Oh my God. I'd say luckily for the fans, don't worry. This is all just a joke. And also, Charly and I have very different types.
I like that you have to preface that it's a joke. Like, if people don't realize that it's a joke.
Because people take things so seriously.
You should not be listening to this podcast then. Like, if you have to, like, if you don't know if it's a joke, especially with us, like, some people maybe. But
people should know that almost everything I say is a joke and not to take any of it seriously.
And sarcasm is one of the highest forms of intelligence.
Then we're geniuses.
We're genius. We are Einstein reincarnated into two brunettes.
100%.
Okay.
I love it. All right. Well, happy happy wedding season to all. We resent you for having it on the holidays, apparently, but we're also happy for you. And Charly,
Mazel.
are we doing Mazel Tov? Are we taking a break the next few weeks, we think?
Yeah.
We might try to do one more.
Maybe we'll do one more.
We'll likely do one more and then take a little summer siesta.
Yeah.
And come back better than ever before.
Rejuvenated and refreshed for fall.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we talked about this.
Well, I love you. Love you guys.
Yeah, what if we just say it to each other? It's like not for the fans. It's like, oh, Charly, like, love you.
Love you.
Why do you keep saying it so seriously? I'm so uncomfortable. I need to leave. Okay, bye.
Bye.